What's up? My name is Justin Glover, and you are listening to episode number 114 of the Results 513 show. The show where high-performing entrepreneurs go to step into their power and take their life and business to new levels. And in this episode, we're answering another one of your biggest questions. Today's question was submitted by Carson, and it's actually part 2 of our answer. Yesterday, we talked about how to host your first live event. Today, we're talking about how to promote your live event, aka how do you get butts in the seat. If you have a question that you would like us to answer on an upcoming episode, you can submit it to results513.com/ask. Now, a lot of people ask me how I'm able to keep up with this 7-day per week show, and the reality is the only way that I'm able to do this is because I've leveraged some amazing tools in my business that help keep me on track and productive. In fact, Brenda and I have put together a free gift for you. It's our short list of the 15 must-have tools that will make you insanely productive in your business. We use these tools in our business and would not be able to get as much done without them. You can download this list for absolutely free. You can have it in your hands literally in 3 minutes from right now by going over to results513.com/show and claiming your copy. Now, not every tool on the list will be perfect for you and your business, but that's okay. Any one of these tools have the ability to change your business forever. Finally, if you want a raw behind-the-scenes look at the Results 513 show, you can follow me on Snapchat. My username there is Justin Lee Glover. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Before we start every show, we take 18 seconds to have a quick gratitude dance party. So as the music plays, think of one thing you're grateful for right now. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, what's going on? Justin Glover here, back again with another episode of the Results 513 show. I am here with my business partner, the lovely Brenda Gagne. Brenda, hello.
Hello. Hi.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. So this is actually a follow-up answer to a question that we had talked about in the previous episode. So in episode, let's see, what was that, 113, we answered the question, how do you host your first live event? So we went into pretty good detail there, but I'm going to reread this question just so you've got some context, and there's a second part to the question that we're going to actually be covering in this particular episode. So Carson submitted the question. Thanks again, Carson, for that. We appreciate it. And he said, I have an email list and a small core group of buyers of my own information products. I've been wanting to host live in-person meetups with them because I believe that it will deepen the long-term connection and relationship that I have with that audience, but I'm not sure the best way to start or how to get people there. In another episode, I heard you mention that you've hosted your own live events, so what advice would you give someone as myself? And again, as I mentioned, we talked about in episode 113 the best way to start. This episode is all about how to actually get people there. So Brenda, initial thoughts on how to get people to show up for your live event.
Well, it's, again, this question was asked about, I have my current existing buyers that I want to deepen the relationship with. So when you're doing an event for your own people that have already purchased, it's a little bit easier to get people, or at least get the word out, because they're already knowing you, liking you, they've already bought from you, you've got a customer there. If you're also going outside, though, like cold market, there's a lot of more things that you would need to do to be able to really push this, event more of like a launch where you've got this big thing coming, and take a little bit more strategic, marketing strategy. But I think we're sticking pretty close to your current list of buyers. Is that right?
Yeah, from what I can tell with this question, that's probably the best way we can take this episode, because he's got his own list. People are buying his information products, so I want to host a live event for them. How the heck do I get them there? So let's go specific there, and then if we need to, we can talk about other options for people that might not have their own list. So were you going to say something else? Or okay.
I guess I'm starting, right?
Yeah. So all right. Well, let's dive in then. You're exactly right. Whenever it comes time to actually getting people there, it's going to be easier if they have some sort of some sort of pre-existing relationship with you. So they've bought something, or I've purchased high-ticket events for myself and attended from people that I have not purchased anything from them in the past, but I had seen them speak on stage at another live event. So if you have a list of, like, maybe if you speak on stage and you have the opportunity to generate a list of people that you know go to live events, because maybe that's where you've spoken with them or whatever, those type of people that go to events are, they typically continue to go to events, so they're a lot easier to sell a ticket to your event. All of that being said, one of our favorite strategies that we use to actually sell tickets to our masterminds, our smaller group masterminds, when we're mining from the existing database that we have, so existing customers or existing community members, or people that have invested in our stuff, people that know us, when we're going into that pool to try to get them into our event, we typically do a two-part promotion if we don't want to sell it. So there's a couple of different approaches. You can go the route of writing a sales letter, creating a sales video, putting together a specific sales emails that get them to go and prime them for coming to your event, all of that kind of stuff, and just go through the typical route of creating a sales message to sell the actual event. When you're creating that type of message, there's a lot of components. Just like when you're selling anything, you have to address everything, because if you don't address everything, then people won't buy. People will not pick up a ticket because they will assume, oh, well, that's not going to be included, or that's something else, so that doesn't fit with me, I'm not interested. So there is significantly more work that has to go into if you're creating an actual sales message for the event. That's probably an episode on its own in terms of like, how do you actually create a sales page for an event? My immediate response would be to look at other sales pages for events and try and find one that is working, people that are actually buying tickets, and then model that. That's what I've done in the past when I have created those type of events. So there's a lot of stuff that has to go on in order to make that side of it happen. Now, we talked about in the last episode, if this is your first event, our recommendation is to keep it small. Go the low key route. Don't try to put on this big shindig with stage and a lot of speakers flying in and catering and room blocks and all of that. They can get very, very pricey. I spent a lot of money that I didn't want to on my first event. So you want to avoid going down that route. So with that in mind, the promotion that we've done in the past that's worked is, and I'll read through the initial email and sort of tell you, I'll dissect the follow-up of that, but essentially you're just going to your existing pool of people. And let me read the actual email.
Before you do that real quick, just to say, like, starting small definitely doesn't mean not giving out the value. A lot of times a smaller event, people will walk away with a lot more value, a lot more concrete knowledge, and a lot more doable action steps that relate to them. So a smaller event in reality can have a bigger impact for your audience than having a bigger event that's not as personal. So just kind of keep that in mind. We did the bigger ones, and we've really tended now to go towards the smaller ones because of, for one, you can charge more. That really is a reality. If you're going to have more one-on-one and more interaction and focus on them, you can charge more for that. But there's also just a lot less hassle, and at the end of the day, they come away happier. So,
yep. Absolutely, I totally agree. So, whenever it comes time to sending the email, what we do is I send what's called a cheese email. And I'm not sure if I've talked about this concept on the show. I know I've talked about it in other places before. This is something that I learned from an incredible marketer. His name is Dean Jackson. And then I learned this concept from him. We actually saw Dean speak at Eben Pagan's event a couple of years ago, and he sent out. This is how he sells his events as well. And so I've modeled it. It works. It worked so well. In fact, we created this whole little front end lead magnet product around it that we call the $23,000 email, because that was the average that email made us whenever we sent it out. So I want to read this first email to you. It's if you have a traditional email newsletter that has like a design or a theme or a template that you use to send out, my recommendation is to send this particular email with just black text on white background. No design, no theme, no pictures, no HTML, nothing, just black text on white background. Typical email, a little bit bigger than like a 12% font or whatever, but make the email very, very short. And here's what ours said exactly. It said, "Hi," and then their name. "Brenda and I are getting together with a small group of people at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Tampa in November to work on applying the new business blueprint that we've created for our 2015 Ignition Mastermind members. We're going to spend 3 days going deep on identifying the biggest and easiest breakthroughs in your business. We'll give you everything that you need to earn 6 figures or more in 2015. Would you like to join us, Justin?" That's it. That's all. There was no links. There was no details about it other than the main stuff that they needed to know. It's going to be in Tampa. It's going to be at the Embassy Suites. It's going to be in November, and we're going to go deep on this topic. Here's what you're going to learn. We're doing this thing with a small group of people. Are you interested? So this is called a cheese email. This is something that if somebody is interested in this, what happens is they click the reply button. All right, they click the reply button and they tell you, "Yes, I'm interested, send me details." They give you permission to send them the details of the actual event. So from there, we followed up with the details of the event. All right, now I'll skim through this. I won't read the entire thing. But essentially, when they responded and said, "Yes, I am interested," I just simply sent them an email that said, "Hey, thanks for connecting. Here's what we're doing in Tampa. Brenda and I are going to spend 3 days with less than 10 people teaching and applying the business blueprint to every aspect of your business. This is going to be," again, so same thing that we told them in the initial one, just restating it. And then we go into some more specific details and like, why would they want to come? So I say, this will be structured exactly like the other $25,000 plus masterminds you hear the big boys and girls talking about. I personally attend at least 2 of those high-ticket masterminds every year because my biggest breakthroughs always come from them, and my income always goes up after I leave. Plus, the energy is really great in a small group like that. I've had much larger events, so it's nice to really go deep with people. This is the first time either one of us has done anything quite like this, and we're super excited. It's going to be amazing. We've got a whole process that we go through in our private consultations, and instead of doing a one-day session, we're going to go deeper over 3 days with lots of one-on-ones, working on putting together real lead generation campaigns, after the click conversions, blah, blah, blah. Like, here are the things that we're going to do. It will be held at the perfect environment for really focusing on your business, because that's why they were coming, to focus on their business and make progress. So we let them know it's going to be held at the perfect environment. It would be cool if you come. The cost is $3,000, and I just need to know if you want me to save you a spot for now. It looks like it's going to fill up soon. Keep in mind, there's a reason we call it the Guaranteed 6 Figures Business Blueprint, blah, blah, blah. Let me know, and I'll send you the specifics. And so what I did in this email, it's a relatively short email to sell a $3,000 price point.
Yeah, but it's strategic.
It's very strategic, and that's the thing. So go back and listen to that. I left out like 3 words, I think, of the entire email. So go back and re-listen to it if you need to, and model it. Think of, why are they coming? What are they looking for? What are their expectations? And just be casual about it. You'll notice that there's no commitments. There's no commitment in the first email that says, do you want to pay to come to this thing? It just says, hey, here's what we're doing. Do you want to join us? If they reply, we know that, yes, they're at least interested in joining us. So from there, we only follow up with the people that we know are interested, right? We only send these details of the event to people that respond. And we tell them the specifics of the event. We tell them, look, it's going to be $3,000. It's totally worth it. We just assume that they're going to buy it. but I don't ask for a commitment. I say, and I just need to know if you want me to save you a spot for now. I don't need your money right now. Do you want me to hold you a spot or not? Let me know, and I'll send you the specifics if you do. And so by doing
they know the price.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I was going to say they know the price.
Yeah.
So if they're coming back and saying yes, they know the price. And you've already price conditioned it down from the $25,000 masterminds. So this is going to be similar, but yet you don't have to pay that. You're only going to have to pay this. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I put a PS on this particular email with a screenshot of my inbox from like a few hours after I sent the first email, the one that I read to you. Lots of people had replied, and so what I did is I just took a screenshot of that and I blocked off their names where you couldn't see their full names, and just showed all of these responses of people saying, yes, I'm interested, yes, I want to come, I want to join you, yes, yes, yes. And so I took a screenshot of that and I included it in the follow-up email, and I simply said, I was originally planning on sharing all of the specifics with you in this email, but something unexpected happened. I sent the same email to a few more of my best customers, not just you, to get an idea of how many people would be interested in attending. And within an hour of sending that email, this is what my inbox looked like. And I just pasted that picture and showed, look, there's other people that are interested in this.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, you need to let me know right now. I'm not asking for money right now. You need to tell me that you want me to save you a spot. And so,
well, that creates the urgency right there. Yeah.
And so that makes up all of the pieces that you would actually need in this type of promotion. And then when people respond, they know the price. So it's literally it's a matter of saying, okay, how do you want to pay? Let's go ahead and get you registered. How do you want to pay? Some people will respond with their phone number. You just pick up the phone and call them and say, okay, what's your card number? Some people will respond and they'll ask, and you can send them a payment link or whatever. However you want to handle those details are fine. But this promotion works because it's very unintrusive. It's a question. Like the first email is a question. It's, hey, we're doing this. Would you be interested? Do you have interest in this? If so, reply and let me know. And then you're only talking to the people that you know have interest. You're only presenting that offer. You're saving the rest of your list. You're not burning them out with, people that have no possible intention of coming or anything like that. So that's a brief sort of overview of actually that's the specifics of how we have filled up events. We've done we've sold this event, we've sold other masterminds.
I was thinking we didn't even do that in Tampa.
Process.
We didn't do that one in Tampa because I was like, we haven't done that. I was like, oh yeah, we changed the location on them. We actually did. We ended up doing it at Atlanta.
That's the thing. Like the first email that I sent out, I said just Tampa. Yeah. And I said the Embassy Suites in Tampa. We ended up doing it, I think, at a different hotel in a completely different state. So yeah. It worked out
well, and the reason being is that you for this type of one right here, you didn't have an actual date yet. The first one that we did, we were like, hey, it's in November, we just know when. So there was a little bit of a back and forth of, well, when can you meet? Okay, you're interested, what are your dates? And we had to put together some dates. We've also done it the other way where it was like, look, this is where we're going to be. We're actually going to be in Austin at this time, so hey, let's meet up ahead of time, and this is when it is. But going back, this is definitely like a behind the scenes type of low entry, low key, but very high value type of event, which is really just completely different from here I'm launching an event and I want to put a sales page together. And when that's the case, you literally just follow launch formula. Like, I've got this event, here's why, all of those things that need to come into it. The reality is this type of strategy works with your customers. It works with your buyers. It's very low key. There was no sales page put together. There was no bullet points and ad copy that had to be put together. It was really just, this is a conversation. And people were very happy to be able to, spend $3,000. And mind you, whatever you charge, they have to get there too. So they're also paying for their flight and they're paying for their hotel room. So you definitely want to make sure that you're giving a lot of value, and for them to get that type of specific help with your buyers to deepen that relationship and then be able to go on and have some other experiences like we talked on the other episode, that puts it all together, and you'll really get your core group, and then you can just build off of them, because they're going to go and talk about how awesome you were and how awesome that event was and testimonials, and the next time you want to do it again, now you have testimonials from people that had an amazing experience, and it just makes it easier for you. So.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. So, anything else on promoting the first event? I know this is a promotion that's worked well for us. Use it if you're promoting to. I mean, you've got a list of buyers. They've bought your product. Just if they've bought your product, you know what they're interested in. You know the result that they're trying to get. So put your event together and lead with that when you're telling them, right? Like, you just think through what is the result that they really want to get, and then think through what can I do at this event that will help them get closer to that result. And then you just tell them, here's what I'm going to do, and here's why I'm going to do it, because it'll help you get closer to your result. It's going to be on this date, this time, this place. Are you interested? So you take that approach. I think you'll see some traction. You'll get some interest from people, and you'll have people at your first event. So that's exciting. They're fun. They're really fun to do. It's a cool feeling and experience to actually host your own live event and have people come and sharing on social media and talking about how awesome it is and all of that. Yeah. And so hopefully this has been valuable. Any closing thoughts before we wrap this one?
Pretty much just figuring out once you figured out the type, then you're going after, what they're going to do. And then obviously you've got to plan the event a little bit. But the looser the structure, sometimes the better it is for your people. As long as you're organized and you have that end goal, you work it around what they need, and they're going to have an amazing experience.
Yeah.
So.
And so this is just one promotion. Brenda mentioned the launch formula process. So we'll have a link here on the show notes somewhere where if you're interested in figuring out, okay, what the heck is this launch formula? Like I have a different type of event, or you want to sell anything really, and you want to use the launch formula to do that, we'll put a link to our recommendation on how you can actually get that. It's in the Invisible Empire.
Well, and I also talk about it inside the Triple Threat formula. We definitely talk about that also, so you can easily get that.
There you go. If you haven't picked up the Triple Threat formula, go ahead and do that. That starts by going to results513.com/show, plugging in your email address. You'll get some really cool productivity stuff, and then within there, we've got a little front end product called the Triple Threat formula. It's we go in more depth on the launch formula and productivity and all kinds of cool stuff. So check that out, and thanks for asking the question. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so there you have it. Thanks for the great question, Carson, and thank you for listening to the show. Remember, if you have a question that you would like us to answer here on the show, submit it to results513.com/ask. And thank you again for tuning in to the show today. We sincerely hope that you've enjoyed it. If you did, we would love it if you would share it with someone else that you think will get value. Be sure and subscribe on iTunes by going to results513.com/iTunes, or if Stitcher is more your thing, you can subscribe there, results513.com/Stitcher. And if you would like to get the full experience of today's episode, the notes, the links, the videos, everything, head on over to results513.com/114. Also, don't forget to run over to results513.com/show and download your free gift. It's called the 15 Must-Have Tools to Be Insanely Productive in Your Business. Go download it now, and we'll catch you in the next episode.